Hey everyone, my name's Chris Lambert, and on this channel we talk Kanye West. And today we are talking Kanye and the Joe Rogan experience. You can see that Kanye just tweeted out about 40 minutes ago. Joe Rogan said it's cool for me to design the set for a podcast this Friday, which is burying the lead a little bit as it seems to confirm that in 6 days' time, Kanye will be on the Joe Rogan experience, something that is 2 years in the making. You may remember just last week, Kanye had tweeted that he wanted to be on the Joe Rogan show. And that was cool, but also kind of a long time coming, because in December of 2018, Kanye tweeted out that he wanted to do a conversation on mental health, but was having a hard time finding somewhere to do the interview. To which Joe Rogan responded saying, "Hey, you can come on the show." And January 1st of 2019, Kanye's like, "I'm going on the Joe Rogan podcast." Just had a phone call with him. Awesome. And then we're kind of left in the lurch. Joe did a couple updates on his podcast, and I did a video kind of overviewing this, where it went from, Kanye wants to get to know me more, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, to just him kind of praising Kanye and having a thoughtful outlook on Kanye, not just as an artist, but as somebody that just approaches the world from a different perspective. And he talks about Kanye getting 100 volts where the rest of us don't. We get far less, and just how that supercharges his ideas and concepts, but also causes him to be a little bit more electric in both the good way and the bad way, of having a higher energy and maybe coming off a little more excited than what everybody else is, but also viewing things in a way that nobody else is. Which, when I first heard Kanye and Joe Rogan, I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure if Joe was going to be somebody that really took the time to understand Kanye, or might just go the headline routes. Maybe even the most superficial Charlemagne interview you can imagine. But even Charlemagne impressed me when he did the long interview with Kanye, right? I didn't expect it to be that thoughtful. I didn't expect it to be that humanizing, especially just as the conflict Kanye and Charlemagne had in the past. So I wasn't sure either how Joe would approach it, but after hearing the few times that he talked about Kanye, I was excited. But then he followed that up in April of 2019 saying he just wasn't sure if it was ever going to happen, that he wasn't going to pressure Kanye, and maybe this platform wasn't the right thing. And that was kind of it for the last year and a half. And now here we are after Kanye's tweet. We see that they're FaceTiming, and you can see the photos here of Kanye, just big smile on his face in what looks to be a concrete area. I mean, Boo had talked about Kanye building a dome in Atlanta. So maybe this is part of the 100-foot dome that Kanye's building. And you can see Joe Rogan there in his wood-paneled room. And then the second photo, which Kanye's clearly showing Joe a picture of this underground thing. You can see the light coming down. Or no, maybe this is his dome in Atlanta. So this is underground, but just the dome concept and what it's going to be. So that's the inside space. Boo had talked about it as kind of Kanye's headquarters, his think tank, brain tank, where he could just have everything that he's working on in one space. And that would be the light pouring in. That's very Terrell inspired, as Kanye's a big James Terrell fan. And you can see he's had similar concepts in the past, right? Like this open space here. You can see that he was doing these underground housing that had pools. He had posted photos of underwater housing. There's this where you can see the person down here in that open space up above. This was something with the water attached. So he's really liked this idea of a large spherical space with an opening that allows the light come through, that's inspired by the James Terrell crater and just James Terrell's architecture and work with light and color. So I guess he's showing Joe what this will look like. And I don't know if that's the set for the podcast this Friday. If Joe is flying out to Atlanta or Calabasas, or if Kanye's coming to Austin and is going to design something in Austin where Joe is, or if he's just going to have Joe in Atlanta and design something in that space and going to show off the space for the first time. But we're definitely going to have, hopefully, this conversation happen. And, Joe Rogan's podcast can be 3 or 4 hours. I don't know if the guest is there the whole time, but if it's a 3-hour conversation with Kanye, Ooh, I'm going to be making videos for the next month just based on that alone, or just like one super long video. Maybe we'll do like a live listen through to where I'll just have it playing and be responding as I'm hearing things. But I'm excited for this because Joe's become one of the premier interview platforms in the world, it feels like currently right now. And for Kanye to go on that and really have that experience, I think we're going to get a lot of insights. And I don't know if there'll be the controversy that someone might expect, because I do think most of the controversy with Kanye interviews comes more when they're in the public space, right? When he has an audience and is in front of people and addressing people in that way, much less so when he's just one-on-one having a conversation. So yeah, we'll see. But as there's updates on this, we'll provide them when we know when the podcast's coming out. We'll provide them, and when the podcast does come out, check back here for a whole rundown about what's discussed, context around it, etc., etc. And that's all I got. If you're enjoying the channel and you want to help out, the easiest way is liking, subscribing, or commenting, as those things tell YouTube this is a channel people enjoy, and then they show it to others, which goes a long way. And then the thing we're most well known for is our podcast, Watching the Throne, a lyrical analysis of Kanye West. We're did one time through Kanye's discography, going line by line through every song, and now we're currently doing our second time through. The College Dropout episodes are available for free on Spotify and Apple, but the College Dropout and Late Registration and all future, like the whole catalog, is available on Patreon for just $5. If you go to patreon.com/Kanye Podcast, or check down in the description below, you can also get our Jesus is King, Yay, and Kids See Ghosts seasons currently on there. So there's a lot of content for you to check out, and it will forever change the way you listen to Kanye's music. That is a guarantee, my friends. Well, until next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy. Cheers.